Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my pre subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to talk about and discuss the special election in Tennessee. If you're in Tennessee and you are a resident of Tennessee, go out and vote if you haven't done so already. As of when I'm recording this video, it is currently Monday, December the 1st at 12:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, December 2nd, 2025 will be the last day that you can go out and vote in Tennessee special election. So if you haven't done so, voted yet, or you didn't even know there was an election, there's an election. Go out and vote if you haven't done so already. Anyway, this video is just for entertainment and for educational purposes only as well. And if you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engage with the content. Sharing this video with others really help boost the algorithm here on this YouTube channel. There is this brand new feature on YouTube as well called the hype button. So by hyping this video really helps broaden our search and network to other people like us to help join our community. Again, not a necessity, but if you want to go ahead and help the channel out, by all means, go ahead and do so. We do also have a lot of you guys who are being spotlighted by AI from YouTube. This is recommended for this past 7 days. We want to highlight Brenda C. So I hope you're doing well, my love. I know you're from Australia, so I hope you're well. Extreme Brand, I hope you're well as well. I haven't seen you in a little bit, so I hope your Thanksgiving was good. We have DM, you're new, so welcome. We have Judy Sibley, welcome back. I know you haven't been here for quite a while, so I hope you're doing well as well. And Rondale Thrustgate, thank you, my love. I haven't spoken to you in a while, so I hope you're doing well and I hope you had a phenomenal summer. Because I know over there by you, also Australia. I hope you're enjoying the new weather if it is good. I don't know, I'm not from Australia. But anyway, guys, thank you all for helping and supporting the channel any capacity, any way you can. I really do appreciate it. Again, this video is just for entertainment, educational purposes only as well. This intro is way too long. I hate long intros, so do you. Let's just move on. Let's just go to the nitty gritty of today's video. We're going to talk about the Tennessee special election that is current. So if the Democrats are able to flip their district, this congressional district, that is an additional House seat for the Democrats. This would be really good because that pushes them closer and closer to narrowing the gap for the Republican majority. Right now, the Republicans are at 218, well, 219 right now, but when Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned in January, it will be 218. Unless the Republicans win the special election, then it will be 220, and then it will go down to 219 once again come January. So we will see who is going to win. And what does your cards say? You know, what does your intuition say? We're going to use some of our techniques to try to figure out what the overall energy is and see if maybe we can get a winner, if any at all. But anyway, that's our goal, that's our purpose of today's video. And now this is important as well because this inches closer. If let's say, for example, it goes under 218, the House is up for grabs. And if you think about it this way, the Republicans at 218, if Marjorie Taylor Greene resigns in January, which is set to happen, and the Democrats pick up the Tennessee special election seat, that narrows the gap tremendously, which means that if another Republican goes, the House is up for grabs. Something that hasn't happened before the midterms. So we will see how this plays out. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's go into the reading. We're going to look at the tarot card, kind of see if we can get an overall color reading, and let's go from there. All right. So let's see. So Spirits Angels tell me, making sure the audio is incorrectly. So Spirits Angels tell me about the Tennessee special election race. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Tennessee's 7th Congressional District, if you look back in 2024, we have Mark Greene, former Congressman Mark Greene, won this district pretty overwhelmingly by almost under like 19 percentage points. It has significantly narrowed to the point where the Democrats could actually win here between Matt and Avon, if I'm correct. But we're just going to use the color codes because I really do not know how to spell either of their names or even say their names. Alright, so Spirit Angels, tell me about the 7th Congressional District in Tennessee. Let me just make sure it's actually 7th, not 5. Yes, it's the 7th. Okay, I was right. So we have the King of Wands. So this is the conservative. This is a very conservative district. If you have been with me on my channel for quite a while, you'll be well familiarized that this card represents the neoconservative, the regular conservative side of the Republican Party, right? This is the regular Republican base. It tells us that this congressional district isn't as MAGA as you may appear, as you may think. It is not as MAGA, it's not as loyal to Donald Trump. This is a base that is more conservative in its value. Obviously, you select Donald Trump because Donald Trump is more the conservative candidate, but in no way is it loyal to Donald Trump or Trumpism, but rather it's loyal to that neo-conservative type style politics that you would normally see under George Bush, and even better yet, Al Gore. You will see that type of politics in this card. Now that is what represents the overall energy of the 7th Congressional District in Tennessee. Now let's take a look and go a little bit further. Let's go a little deeper. What is the overall environment in the 7th Congressional District in Tennessee when people go out and vote? And early voting, I don't know if they have early voting in Tennessee, but if there's early voting spirit, and on election day tomorrow, December the 2nd, when people go out and vote, what is the overall energy? What is the overall ambiance? Now, what's really interesting as well, Tennessee overall approved of Donald Trump on the approval level. So, yes, Donald Trump is tanking countrywide, but in terms of Tennessee itself, it is very well much approved of Donald Trump's job performance. So keep that in mind as well. And this is a ruby red Republican district. This is a very reliable district for the Republican Party. So if a Democrat wins here, it's going to be astonishing. We have the Knight of Wands reverse. This is escape. This is escape. This is either running towards something head on, heading backwards, going reversal. This is going forward. So something is going forward, but it's reverse. Something is going forward, but it's in the reversed aspect. Upside down, but reverse. Okay. This could also symbolize to me that the Democrats, in this case, just say this card symbolizes the Democrats are going to perform just as well as Mark Greene did in the prior election where he wins by 19 percentage points. We can kind of see a similar scenario where it's a complete reversal. Now, if you watched recently Stranger Things with the Upside Down world, it could be something along those scenarios, along those lines. It could be something like that. But let's go ahead. Let's keep reading. Let's see if we can get more information out of this. Spirit Angel, tell me about Tennessee's special congressional election. Tell me more about Tennessee's special congressional election. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune card reverse. We have the Six of Swords and the Two of Swords. And this is the overall energy. Okay, so the first card that we have here is moving forward. So this is the people in the 7th Congressional District. At least, guys, I don't live in the 7th Congressional District. So when I'm reading and I'm just telling people how they feel, this is the energy. I don't really know if I can confirm this. If you're from the 7th Congressional District in Tennessee, by all means, please confirm or recorrect me in the comment section below. The Wheel of Fortune reverse, this means progress. It feels like there was a period of stagnation in Tennessee, specifically in the 7th Congressional District, that kind of prevented it from actually achieving its potential, to achieve its best version of itself. And I feel like a lot of residents there feel like something has been halted, like something has been grinded, whether it's the stability in terms of salary, whether it's the prices, maybe it's the wages, maybe it's the infrastructure. Something is staying very steady, but hasn't improved. Something that hasn't really progressed more than they would have liked. And if you go back into the reading as well, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 of Swords upright. This is trouble heading to smoother, calmer water. So the district in Tennessee wants a better outcome. They are seeking and they're desiring something that provides them progress. Whatever candidate that tells its supporters or tells the people in Tennessee, I'm going to have a plan to be able to make your district, our district, better. I have a plan to improve our way of life, to improve our infrastructure. Whatever candidate has that type of policy will be the one that's going to win this election. Now, I don't know personally off the top of my head because I did not watch the debate. I'm also not from Tennessee, so I cannot confirm whether or not this is true or not. But here's what I can tell you. The energy does not lie. The energy indicates that there is immense the desire from these Tennessee people in the 7th Congressional District that want a way forward. They feel like there has been too much instability. They've been feeling like things had just been at a halt there. It's almost like, here's the best way to describe it. You know the Hoover Dam with the water flow? Imagine the water flow being the progress and the Hoover Dam being that thing that stopped the progress from going. They feel like there's stagnation, something is not moving, something grinded to a complete halt. This could be possibly a repudiation on the Republican Party for possibly a halting or the shutdown of the U.S. Congress. That could be something as well. I don't know what the job record that is in Tennessee's 7th Congressional District, but if this is the case, that means that a lot of federal workers in Tennessee are upset about what happened in the U.S. Congress when they shut down. Now, going back into the reading as well, we have a very, very tight race. So the idea is here, the American people in Tennessee are debating on what candidate they want. And this is by all means not going to be a blowout. And yes, I mentioned the word 19, and that could be a complete reversal of the Knight of Wands was to indicate that, but in no way did the cards ever say the energy was going to be similar to that. It could be a complete reversal, it could be a complete image, but again, something like that happening in a deep red county, in a deep red congressional district will only occur when there is low turnout for the Republicans and high turnout for the Democrats. That seems to be very unlikely. But the two of swords here means what candidate can have the best messaging strategy to tell the people in Tennessee in the 7th Congressional District, I have a plan to get us out of this stagnation. They feel very stagnant. That could also be the economy as well. We also have here, we have the Knight of Swords reversed, but it's headed in the future card. Now remember, I said here in this card here, in this placement, we had the Knight of Wands, and that card symbolizes the same coloration as the Knight, the King of Wands, right? When he was sitting in that chair, and I was giving you a little conversation about how it represents neoconservatism and stuff like that, the Republican Party, they're not really loyal to Donald Trump, that type of energy. You know how the Knight of Wands was reversed, and it was in this placement here? It's far behind. But look where the Democrats are. This is the card that represents Joe Biden. This is the Knight of Swords. This means fast forward. But this would mean fast but contentious. This is a campaign for the Democratic Party here. This campaign in Tennessee is all about, what's it called? I'm seeing like precision. Like every detail has to be perfect. Everything has to go right in order to happen correctly. It's like Murphy's Law, but reverse. And Murphy Law essentially, when it's reversed, it means anything good that happened will continue to happen. Instead of where Murphy Law is indicated as when one thing goes wrong, everything will go wrong. Right? It's a complete reversal. The Democrats need to get everything right in order to have the best outcome, even if it's in the narrowest of scenarios. But the Democrats are here, and it's reversed, and it's heading, facing the future card, because this is the future. And here we have the Republican also on a horse, but it's down here, which tells me the Democrats are in the lead as of now. So as of now, if I were to put those two together, I would probably say likely, as of now, the Democrats are in the lead. But we cannot confirm that quite yet because we do need confirmation from Spirit. Okay, do we have something coming up about the Donald Trump presidency being a challenge to the district? Yeah. So, okay, so the people in Tennessee are very upset about how Donald Trump handled the economy, how he handled tariffs, how he handled the shutdown, those things that hurt pocket. So, you ever heard that saying back in the 90s, if the economy is stupid? That is exactly what this is indicating in Tennessee's 7th Congressional District. It's the economy is stupid. And that is exactly what is being emulated here. Because we have the star card, which is indicated in the future tense. This is the past tense. And the star card is facing the future, which tells us sometime in the future, Donald Trump is going to hinder the 7th Congressional District. Something in there is going to happen. Donald Trump is going to hinder its ability to, in terms of progression. Something comes to a complete halt. and the people in Tennessee realize that. That is the challenge to the 7th Congressional District, which tells me this is going to happen and has already happened. So it's 2-1. The past card here was represented by the 9 of Cups. It's no longer buying into this energy of looking at my achievement. This is what I want you to see. This is the image, right? This is the person taking a picture of the man sitting down among his achievement. This reverse would tell us, no. They don't see the man and his achievement. They see who's taking the picture. So what did this mean? In the past, Tennessee people woke up in the 7th Congressional District to see what is really going on. The mask, the veil has been lifted. The illusion has crumbled in the 7th Congressional District. Here we have the dark card, which is Donald Trump, and the challenges in the 2024 presidential election. We have here Harris, right? This is Harris and the resistance to it. They were open to the idea of a woman president, but they weren't quite ready yet. The conditions were not met in order to allow her to be in. If the conditions were proper in terms of the economy, the 7th Congressional District in Tennessee would have gone more closer to Harris. Not saying she would have won the district, but it would have been a lot closer. It would have been more like Al Gore type close. But this is the Queen of Wands here with the 7 of Wands reversed. What is indicating to us now? It's indicating that the woman, the female, who is currently running for the Democratic Party under the 7th Congressional District, is in the lead right now. She is facing the path of least opposition. So what does this mean? Remember how I said earlier that the Knight of Cups reverse was indicating the Democrats were ahead, it was an advancement, and everything had to go right for everything to work out according to plan. Well, in this cards here with the Queen of Wands upright and the 7 of Wands reversed, it means the path of no resistance, which means that the people in Tennessee receive her message a lot easier. They'll swallow her message a lot easier, where the Republican having some difficulty. What does that mean? It means that in Tennessee, with the Democratic formation and organization in Tennessee, her campaign strategy, her messaging strategy is being perceived very well among the voters, whereas the Republican strategy in terms of their messaging is failing. Now, we also do have here in the next card here, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles means looking at our opportunity, looking at our risks and reward. What do we take for granted? What don't we take for granted? This is the 7 of Pentacles here. This is telling me here there's also tasks are playing a major role. So this is in the future tense, and this representing the overall energy and overall ambiance of the 7th Congressional District is telling me there is some issues in terms of surplus of money and income in the 7th Congressional District of Tennessee. I want to see if anything comes up for that district, but I highly doubt, even if I ask the tarot cards, it probably won't tell me anything at all, but we can always see in a bit. Alright, so Spirit Angels tell me, with the current energies going into December the 2nd, 2025, tomorrow, in the 7th Congressional District of Tennessee, versus the Democrats and the Republican, who is likely to be the winner or declared the winner or the victor 10 to 7 days from when the election has commenced, which will be tomorrow, and it will end tomorrow. So 7 days from tomorrow, who will be likely be a projected winner in Tennessee? Okay, show me blue if it's a Democrat, show me red if it's a Republican that wins the 7th Congressional District. Okay, we have death, a rebirth. So, a rebirth, so someone has been reborn, progress, and path of least resistance. A lot of blue and tower moment. There's an upset. Upset in the election results. We have the Republican here. Where's the Democrat? We have the 3 of Pentacles reversed. This is telling me this is not early voting. This is election day. Something's going on election day. What's going on election day? We have judgment. This is people coming in. So something's going to come in terms of mass news media. Something's going to shift a narrative in some way. The top of the deck here, we have the big picture. Looking at things, looking at the illusion, seeing the illusion for what it is, not bought into the lies. of the presidency, the star card. And here it is, chaos, the King of Cups. Okay, so this is telling me this is going to be a very, very competitive race. If the voters in the 7th Congressional District vote against Donald Trump and against the Republican Party, this will be considered an FU to the GOP. That's what this would mean. This is the 10 of Wands reverse. The 10 of Wands reverse means it's not as much of a struggle as you think. Not as much of a struggle as you think. Now, here's the thing that I want to know. Is it not much of a struggle for the candidate to win? Or is it meaning that it's not as much of a struggle in terms of how people view the money, the economy, and stuff like that? Are they shrugging off things that they were really concerned about just to support the Republican Party or the Democrats? Like, what's going on here? What does that mean? What does the 10 of Wands mean when it says here it's not as much of a struggle as you think it means? What does that mean? You know, we're going to find out. Does that mean that maybe the economy is not as bad as people feel, or they're not going to vote the way the economy is around them? They're going to vote more sort of values and polarization line rather than what they think is going to provide them money and income? That's a question that's still going to be debated. We're going to find the answer relatively soon on December 3rd. Now, we do have here as well as we have the Page of Swords and the Ace of Cups reversed, which means there's not going to be a blowout for any candidate. You think that it's going to be a lot tighter. It's going to send a message. It's sending a message. And we know it's a message because it's the M. And the M is reverse. Normally it's a W, but it's an M. It means it's sending a message. But here's the thing, and I'm seeing it now too. You see this cup? Now imagine you take a cup, right? And I took, can I take this cup for a second? Okay, so you take this cup, right? You turn it upside down. Now you contained it. That's what it looks like. It looks like a containment, but it's hollow. It's a hollow containment, but it's open on the bottom. Here's the dove. A hollow containment of a dove. Hollow containment of a dove. Now, what does the dove mean? The dove. The dove. Hollow containment of a dove. Hollow containment of a dove. A dove represents purity. It represents white. It represents good. Hollow containment of the dove. So a hollow structure that's designed to hold in the good, but it's all mental, because the mental aspect will be the non-physical. The physical will be what we can touch, what we can feel, right? That would be the physical. That would be our reality, but the cup symbolizing the non-containment structure of the dove, the message of the dove. That means that the message is to not be in containment. So something that was thought to be in control is no longer. It's almost like cult-like energy, possibly. You know, but people who are in a cult, right, are stuck in this loop, right? They don't realize the veil, the structure, the system, this inability to leave. And this is what this is. It's saying here MAGA, right? The MAGA is that cult. It's that illusion of containment, confinement, but it's not. It's a message to MAGA. The question is in the message to MAGA that we're so good, we're so connected, everything's working, or that we're starting to crack. And that is something we're going to find out soon. We do have here as well, we do have bravery, brave message. So there might be some people who might defect. And I do feel like this is indicating that there is a crack in MAGA. And Tennessee's 7th Congressional District is going to represent that. And here you have the Three of Cups reverse. The celebration in reverse. I heard the word, I told you so. I didn't want to have to do this. I told you so. I didn't want to have to do this. So what does that mean? It means that some people are voting against their own party loyalty in the name of a better outcome, a better future. That's what it feels like. Now, when we look under here and we start to go a little bit more in descriptive, we try to ask like who's going to win. This is where it gets a little confusion. We have the death. The death means a rebirth, a re-signal, a redirection, a recourse, right? To take a different path, right? That's what the death card means. It's followed and coupled by a fuchsia, which means the way forward, progression, right? To take a new path in the future, right, with the path of least resistance, to take a new path in the future of least resistance, the least opposition, to an upset, a possible upset in an election cycle. A 10 of Cups reverse. This means the election. This is talking about the midterms as well. And here you have it, the Knight of Wands reverse. This is the Republican. This is the Republican candidate. Now here's what it's telling me here. The Republican candidate comes up in the right side card. Although early in the video it did indicate in some capacity the Democrats were ahead, it was in the lead, the Republicans could possibly take over on election day if there was election early voting for the Democrats. Now, here's the caveat, and this is what I've been getting in the cards here on the lower parts. This is telling me here that, okay, so we have the death card here, which indicates a new path, one of progression in the future, the path of least resistance to a possibility of not causing an upset, or because of an upset causing you to go through all this, of election day with the Republicans. Now, there's a couple ways I'm going to read this. I'm going to give you a couple interpretations. Here's the first interpretation. If the Republicans win, the Republicans are going to kind of feel in some capacity that their messaging is really strong ahead of the 2026 midterms, and they're not going to miss anything. So whatever they do in this midterm, they're going to replicate that across many races up until the midterm. If, however, the Democrats do win Tennessee's 7th congressional district, expect the Republicans to change their game plan ahead of the 2026 midterm to be more aggressive in nature. So, what the Spirit is saying here that if the Democrats lose via the death card, find a new path in the future, the path of least resistance, to cause an upset in an election cycle in the 2026 midterm to turn the Republicans out of power, you have the edge if you lose this congressional district, if you lose the 7th congressional district. If, however, you win the 7th congressional district as a Democrat, you have the new path, a new path has been opened in the future for the path of least resistance by overturning the House control, the House, the party control of the House well before the midterm cycle, not needing to depend on the 2026 midterm to do so. And by doing so, you can also oust the Republican from power. So what is this card saying? What is it telling us in the reading? It's telling us that if the Democrats win the 7th congressional district, the Democrats will get closer to possibly overtaking control of the House from Speaker Mike Johnson well before the 2026 midterms, right? But the consequences of that, the Republicans shift gear and now start going with a different avenue on how they're going to pursue aggressively the campaign strategy in order to win the 2026 midterms. Now, here's the other thing, and here's the other thing. This can also be read as this way as well. We have here the death card, a rebirth, a recourse, the desire for people to want a new path, a new progression in the future, the path of least resistance. Therefore, there's an upset in the 7th congressional midterms, 7th congressional election, special election, and the Republican Party loses. There's a couple ways that this can go. So I don't think that there is a clear victor in the 7th congressional district. Normally, most of the time, in a lot of my videos, I'm able to poll a winner, to see a winner. But in this 7th congressional district, I cannot see a winner because there are optics here. There are things that can help the Democrats, and there's all things that can help the Republicans. So in a way, each party will be benefited from either a gain or a loss in this election cycle. It's going to provide them intel and insight on how they're performing ahead of the 2026 midterm cycle. So that is like where I'm getting. This is exactly what I'm getting. This kind of seems very much on par. It seems to be the new trend here where ever since the 2024 presidential election, it seemed to be a lot harder to gauge the electorate in terms of the tarot card aspect. But I'm looking at the energy aspect, and I can definitely tell you the Democrats are in the lead. That's for certain. The Republicans need to narrow the gap on election day in order to do that. But the sentiment, the overall sentiment in the 7th Congressional District, that they want change. They desire change. And that if electing a Democrat will do that, they'll be willing to do that. The question is whether or not that is going to be insinuated by high Democratic turnout and low Republican turnout, or possibly crossover votes from the Republican. That is yet to be remained. That's what we're going to find out. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, peace out. I love you and thank you for watching. Bye.